You might be about to witness the epic failure of a beginner attempting to apply makeup on camera. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Style Synonym. I am Dita. Before I begin, I just have to express my incredible gratitude for the number of people, the comments, and the number of new subscribers that I've gotten in the last few days. I am not a crier. In fact, I'm usually the person when everybody else is crying. I'm the one looking around wondering why everyone is crying. I was editing last week's video and glanced at the subscriber count and clocked like 800 something. And it didn't even click until a few minutes later when I was like, wait a minute, 800 something. And I have this book where I wrote down the number of subscribers I had when I restarted my content, and it was 400 something. So I was remembering correctly that I did not have that many. And the shock of it, I burst into tears. I will admit it. I was so stunned. And now, as of this morning, there are over 1,300 of you. Are you for real? Hopefully I won't lose numbers after this video because I think it'll probably be pretty hilarious. But I can't even express how, and the comments have been so kind and so encouraging. Like, I can't even express what that means to me. Yeah, so I just had to thank you for that. Thank you so much. I don't even have words for what you did for me, what you've done for me, and what you did for me. And the amount of doubt that I had about coming back to this, it's just been, just thank you so much. Okay, so this is part 3 of celebrating Black artisans. We are going to be talking about makeup, and I'm going to attempt to do a full face, what I consider a full face of makeup using makeup by Black designers, makeup artists. So as I'm applying my makeup, I'll talk through it and talk through why I like it. Why I preface this by saying that it's probably going to be an epic fail is I'm a true beginner to makeup. I didn't wear makeup all through like my childhood. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. And then throughout college, university, grad school, I didn't wear makeup. Every once in a while, I would put on some mascara and that would be about it. It's probably been within the last maybe 6 to 8 months that I've really been playing with makeup, starting with a base layer and concealer and, all of it. Trying eyes, which I've never gotten right. And when I say 6 to 8 months, 6 to 8 months of intermittent trying, probably within the last month and a half to 2 months, I've been practicing with makeup most days of the week, maybe 4 or 5 days a week. So I am definitely a beginner. Most of the YouTube videos I'm able to find are clearly for people who have at least a cursory understanding of makeup. But you know what? The way people get better at things and the way I get better at things is to just try and fail and keep trying. It's how people learn new languages. It's how people learn new skills. You just can't be afraid of the embarrassment of failure. You just have to keep trying until you eventually get it right or righter. So let me attempt to do these beautiful Black makeups justice by putting on makeup with you. And I promise you, I will stop talking about these damn nails. I had a nail appointment and I slept through it. I feel so bad. I've never done that before. So anyway, my nails are still jank. I'm so sorry. All right, so I am ready to go. The face has been cleansed and moisturized, and that is it. I have nothing on my face right now. So we'll start with the base layer. I don't wear foundation. I have in the past, but as somebody who doesn't typically wear makeup, I find that I can actually feel it on my face. It's too heavy and it tends to make me produce a lot of oil, so I get really shiny. If I wear a base layer of any kind, it is a tinted moisturizer. When I went to look for something comparable to what I typically use, I found this from Danessa Myricks Beauty. It's called Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. This is what it looks like. Look how pretty that is. I love this amber cap. I just think it's such a pretty bottle. I got mine in I guess the color is 13. I tried it the other day. I really liked it. It is very light on the skin. I think it might be too dark. It'll probably fit my summer skin, but my winter skin, it was too dark for it, which is funny because I tried it on in the store. I tried this one and then the one darker than it. And this one seemed to work perfectly. I tried it on my hand, which is about the same color, maybe even a little lighter. I don't know. Than my face, but when I put it on at home, it was too dark. So what I did was I mixed this with my current tinted moisturizer, and that worked really well. So let's put this on, mix with my other tinted moisturizer. I usually apply this by hand. I have tried applying tinted moisturizer with a brush. I just don't like it. I like how I can warm it up in my hands, and so that's what we're going to do. This is what this looks like, and then this is my normal tinted moisturizer. So I'm going to mix these two together in my hands, and this is my concoction. So I usually just dab this on. There's a mirror right there, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm in a different place right now. I'm actually filming in a studio. I'm really thankful because there's beautiful light in here and a beautiful mirror. And that's it. That's even a little bit more than I typically do. But what I like about tinted moisturizers and this Yummy Skin is that it just evens out my skin tone. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all I need. I do find that tinted moisturizer is buildable, so there have been times when I wanted more of a fuller coverage, and I bet the Danessa Myricks is. Let's try it actually. Let's add a little bit more and see what that looks like. If I don't like it, I can always take it off. So I've got a little bit more. I'm gonna rub that in, warm it up in my hands. Usually I'll pat it on first, and then just kind of rub it throughout my skin. Pat and rub, that's what I do. Ooh. I like it in the viewfinder. I like what that looks like. Let's look in the mirror. Yeah, I like it. Is it too dark, you guys? In the mirror, it's looking a little darker than I'm used to. Anyway, we're gonna go with it. But I really like this stuff. It's so light. I mean, I don't feel it on my face. I just put a scarf that I brought with me on as a band. I see people wear those hair bands to protect their hair, and it just occurred to me. So I thought I would try it and see if I noticed it got in my way or whatnot. Anyway, next step is foundation. What made me pay more attention to makeup was when Rihanna released Fenty and came out with foundation set. Truly were for everybody, including and especially for people on the darker end of the spectrum for whom makeup wasn't very representative. I remember when I first started watching YouTube and people kept talking about this BB cream and how light it was. It was light coverage. It was barely there. And I was like, you know what, that might be something I would try. And I remember looking at the packaging thinking, does it like change with your body chemistry to get darker, or what is happening? Because I didn't know even then how it would work. I take it home, I put it on, and I was mortified. It was clearly not for me. And then years later, when Fenty came out with her line of makeup and that was truly inclusive, I started to pay attention. Other than my tinted moisturizer, if I had anything else on my face, it was Fenty. You can tell this has been well loved. Look how the box doesn't even have its lid anymore. This is the Matchstick Trio that had concealer, contour, and highlight. I have two of these. I have this one and the one that's one color lighter that I didn't bring with me because I tend to use what's in here. So, oops, that just fell off. This is the concealer I used to use. The other one in that other box was lighter, and actually the beautiful woman who did my wedding makeup recommended I use that one. I bought them both. That one was just too light. I know that having the really bright eyes is the thing, but it didn't look right on me, even though it probably did look right. It probably is right, but I was just not used to it, so it's too much. So I used this one, Suede, for years when I did use concealer, and I would just use it under my eyes. But then probably about 3 months ago, watching a video on social media, I don't remember if it was YouTube or TikTok or what I was watching, but they were using more of a liquid concealer, and I felt like I wanted to try it, and I have to say I really like it. So I went out and I got this. This is also from Fenty. It is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer, and the color I got is 420. I really love this, and I think this is about the same color as Suede. Yeah, that is pretty much the same color, isn't it? So I've seen all the places that people apply concealer. They put it on spots on their face. But as far as like a regular routine, I see people put it under their eyes, maybe on down the middle of their nose or something. And I can't remember, maybe here, like on their brow bone. I don't do any of, the only thing I do is put it under my eyes. I tend to just dot my concealer on. So this is what I do. I just take the doe foot and I just dot. That's typically what I do. And even this is more than I typically do. I think for the sake of this video, we're going to go a little heavier. That is concealer for me. And then I use this brush to pat in my concealer. I think this is a foundation brush. This is a Sephora brush 70. I have used this to buff out my tinted moisturizer in the past, but because I use so little, I feel like it took more off my face than it left on. I am open to any suggestions for brushes and techniques because I really want to learn this. So if you think there's a better tool than this, then definitely let me know. So I just pat this in. It's literally all I do. And I just kind of pat it in and out. Okay, that's the one. And then that's it. That's my concealer. And I do notice that it makes my eyes seem less puffed. It is a little bit brighter. Very recently, I saw somebody talking about setting under eye concealer with powder. And so I found this translucent setting powder by a brand that is the same brand as my regular tinted moisturizer. So I'm going to pop that on really quick off camera. Okay, I've got that on, and hopefully I'll remember to brush that off at the end because I'm not used to doing it. But I almost feel like it blurs the under eye even more having the powder on. I think that's really cool. Okay, next step is contour. So I'm going back into my trio sticks from Fenty, and this is the contour that I use. This is Espresso. It is the only one I think that I've ever used, and I love it. So when I put on contour, this is probably entirely wrong. What I'm trying to do is just highlight my cheekbones and my jawline. I'm not going for like a strong contour, so this is what I do. That's literally, I'm laughing. I'm sure people are like, what makeup routine? Because I do so little. That is what I typically do. But I'm going to go in a little bit heavier. I would love for this to be sharper so that I have more control of how much I put on my face. Let's add more. That's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. We're just going to go with it. And then I will do this on the jaw. And then sometimes I put some up here. I don't really contour my forehead. Oh, God, see, this is already annoying me. I'm not used to this. I literally just do that. That's it. That is my contouring. I don't even really know why I do that. I think I saw when the Fenty makeup came out, I saw people putting stuff up there, so I started doing it. But I do think it does give some shape and dimension.
A lot of banging started happening from others in the studio. I just had to keep recording because I had limited time. Apologies.
So this is the brush that I used to tap in my concealer. And I used to use the edge of the brush to buff in my contour. But then I saw somebody using this brush and tapping in their contour, and I wanted to try it. And this was like 3 weeks ago, and I really like it. So let's do that. Let's tap this in. And I usually tap it towards my hairline, and then I use the corners, and I just tap and buff. A lot of concealer, but it's blurring, so that's good. And sometimes if I feel like it's way too much, I will use concealer to lighten it up. You guys are probably like, what on earth is she doing? Listen, we can't all be good at everything. Okay. We might go back in and buff more, but let's go to these. So I still use this to buff out the concealer on my jawline on my head. And I pull down to shape the jaw. Ooh, see, there's a little, I'm gonna have to use some concealer here. But anyway, let's do this. I mean, I already have a very prominent jawline, but I do think that shadowing kind of makes it pop even more. That's not actually looking too bad. Let's see. And then let's do this. I just bring this down towards my forehead. See? And you can see that it adds some shape and dimension. I'm just going to buff that to make it less pronounced. That is my contour done. I see a difference. I feel like my face is not as one-dimensional anymore. I'm going to leave this alone for now. I may need to thin that out. We'll see. I'm just going to brush off this powder before I forget. Next, I usually do blush. And my intention was to show you these blushes on a bare face before I put on the tinted moisturizer so I could wipe it off, and I completely forgot. So I'm going to try to give you the same effect on my hand. I used to use 1/2 of this highlighter duo as my actual blush in the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt. So this is the Ginger Binge and the Moscow Mule. Moscow Mule. I used to use the Ginger Binge as my blush and the Moscow Mule as my highlight. But on this makeup journey that I'm on, I have found that one of my favorite makeup products is blush. I am a blush girl. I love blush. I just think it's so pretty. One of the brands that I've been using for longer, I've probably had this pot for, years, probably pre-pandemic. I also don't know if makeup goes bad. I think some does. Like, I think some of my lipsticks went bad because I just never wear them and I had to throw those out. They were smelling kind of funny, but this seems to be fine. So this is Black Radiance. This is the Artisan Color Baked Blush, and it is in the Warm Berry 8305. This is it. I love this blush. I feel like the color payout is great. Look at that. It's so pretty. That's what that looks like on the hand. For a while, this was my favorite blush, and I still really love it. I just wore it the other day. It's such a great blush. But I just discovered this brand. Well, I've known about the brand for a while, but I just purchased some blushes from Juvia's Place. When I tell you, it's probably my favorite makeup item out of everything. These blushes are unbelievable. Okay, compared to all my other blushes, I thought this was my pigmented blush. No, sir, no, ma'am. These are unreal. I have 3 colors. I want more. These Juvia's Place, I'm getting excited. These Juvia's Place blushes I have in Barbie Rose, Sweet Berries, and Dahlia. This one is Barbie Rose. Look at that. You only need a little bit. So when I first did it, I did a dot on my cheek, and it was wild. I did like that on each cheek. That one little dot did all of that. Can you imagine that on your face? And I still have all this on my hands. It's so pigmented. The color is so rich. I love it. It's so funny. When I went back and watched videos about this, there were people like, oh my gosh, it's so pigmented. Like, I look like a clown. And I was like, you're a makeup artist. Shouldn't you have, just put less on? I don't understand what the hoopla and hoopnanny was. I think it's a really good thing that this is so pigmented. This next one is Dahlia. I can't decide whether this one or the Sweet Berries is my favorite. This is like a brick red almost. I don't know why I'm whispering. Look at that. It is so beautiful. So I'm just going to do a tiny little dot. Oh, it's not a tiny little dot, but that's this one. Dahlia. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Look at this. Look at this color. Oh, it's so beautiful. I still have some on my finger, a lot. Look at that. Again, if you put that little dot that I had on my hands on your face, that's how much blush we're talking. It's so pigmented. This stuff is of the gods. Oh, Juvia's Place, come on, fabulous. This is the Sweet Berries, and I think I'm learning that I really am drawn to the berry tinted blushes, like a plummy color. Look at this, Sweet Berries. Ooh, I even love the lid. The lid is so pretty. Look at that. Is it? Yeah, there it goes. Oh my gosh. Tiny, tiny little dot. Boop. Just a tiny little dot. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. This plummy. Oh my God. Yum, yum, yum. Look at that. Look at that. Can you imagine that on my skin? Well, you're not going to have to because I think that's the color I'm going to do. Look, I could eat it. It's so good. This is the brush that I use for blush. So I stopped putting Juvia's Place blush directly on my cheeks. I put it on my hands and then I would use the brush to buff it out. But then I found that it would leave this dot where the dot was on my hand. So now what I do is I put the dot on my hand, I buff it out with my finger, and then I take the brush to it. So we're going to do tiny little dot. That's it. We'll start there. I can always add more if I need it. And then I'm going to widen the circle so I don't just get that little center dot on my brush. Then I take and I still have some on my finger if I need it. And I'm going to take my brush and pick up the product. Look at that. Look at how much product. And this is just something that I figured out on my own. I didn't see this on a video, but people probably do this. And then I smile to get the apples in my cheeks. Can you see it? I think I need a little bit more. I usually do a bigger dot than what I did. Look at that. Ooh, And I just tap the product on the apples of my cheeks, and I used to just do it here, but I watched a couple of videos where people are extending it along the cheekbone, and I really like that look, so that's what I do now. Pick up a little bit more. Let me add a little bit more. See, I just add, if I need more, I just add what's on my finger. The other thing that I saw in a video that I really like is putting a little blush on my nose. Just a little bit. So that is my blush on. That is more than I typically wear. If it's looking like too much, what I will do is I will use my concealer brush or foundation brush or whatever that has a little bit of foundation and concealer from when I tapped out my under eye concealer, and I will buff this out more. I might just take just a little. Yeah, that feels better. Okay, that is my blush. That's all just from that tiny little dot that I did. So even if you do like to wear a lot of blush, this will last me years. That's why I hope blush doesn't go bad, because it will take me forever to go through this. I love it so much. I mean, this is amazing. This Juvia's Place, look at just looking at the packaging. It's just so beautiful. These I highly, highly recommend. There's so many colors. I want so many of them. I know not all of them will work on my skin, but I'm just so in love. I forgot my bronzer. I'm so annoyed. I really like how bronzer brings even more dimension to the face. It really warms things up, and it allows me to use my newest brush and my favorite brush. I just got this probably 10 days ago. It's from Sephora, and it is the 80. And seeing this in my little brush cup makes me feel like I use makeup. It just feels like a very makeup-y brush. So this is what I started using to put on my bronzer, usually in the temples and more on the forehead and in the cheeks. And I'm so pissed that I forgot it. I've been using that for quite some time now, and I cannot remember the brand. I don't want to, I have the brand in mind, but I don't want to say the wrong brand. So I will definitely give that bronzer a shout out when I get home, but boo. So what I might do is, in the places where I would have used bronzer, I just put a little bit more of my Fenty contour in the temples. I don't want to look sunken in, but I think it just gives a little bit of, dimension. Next is probably my second favorite makeup item, and that is highlight. This used to be my most favorite until I discovered blushes, but highlight I love. I love that shimmer it gives you. I just got these two. These are from Juvia's Place as well, the Nubian Glow Liquid Luminizer. This one is Nubian Gleam, and that's what this looks like. Look how beautiful that is. I have this fantasy of doing a golden makeup. I feel like Iman has done a look like that, and various other just beautiful models who have this ethereal golden makeup on. It's something that I fantasize about being able to do. I have tried and I have not done very well, but I'm going to keep practicing. So this is Nubian Gleam, and then I have another one in Golden Hour. So this is what the Nubian Gleam looks like. That's what that looks like. And that's what it looks like on the skin. It's so pretty. And then this is Golden Hour. This is more of a golden. The Nubian Gleam has a little bit of, it's like a rose gold. This one is more of a coppery gold. And that's what that looks like. This is the Golden Hour. I don't know if you can tell. See, this one is more of a rosy gold, and this one is I'd say more of a true gold on the skin. I am not very good at applying these yet. I feel like when I put it on my skin, it's streaky, probably because I'm just not good at putting it on, so I just need to practice it more. So what I use, and what my favorite highlighter is from Fenty. So I showed this one already, the Moscow Mule. It's just this beautiful, look at this, like this definite rose gold shimmer. It's so pretty. And then the Ginger Binge, which is what I use for blush, is for a lighter highlight. That's Ginger Binge. You can barely see it. It's so pretty. That's what I used to use for blush. It's not funny. And then this Trophy Wife, which was all over the interwebs, is the true golden. I think this, when I finally do my golden makeup, this is going to be the highlight that I'm using. Look at this. And talk about color payout. This is another one where people were marveling at how little product you needed. Crazy. Look at that. Oh. One day, maybe even on here, I will be incorporating this into my golden look. So this is the brush that I use for my highlight. It is an actual proper highlighting brush. This is from Fenty and it's the 120. So I'm going to go into the Moscow Mule. Ooh, that's a lot. Tap some of that out. Highlight is another thing that I have a lighter touch on. Should have put on the other side. So this is usually what I do. I do a little line like that. Ooh, do you see that? Oh, I love highlight so much. It's so great. I'm gonna go on the other side and I do the same. Just look at that gleam. Now, the other thing that I do that I don't know is traditional, but I do it this way because I think Rihanna, when she was showing this product, did it this way. I actually also put highlight here. So I do like a C shape. And I really like the way it looks. I don't think I'll stop doing it that way. See that? And then I will use the part that doesn't have product and I will buff this out just a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty. I actually think I want a little bit more on this side. Yeah, it's subtle, but yeah, you see, it's just that tiny little gleam. Oh my gosh. I don't like anything sharp. And I don't know if you're supposed to just have a kind of like a sharp highlight. I like everything kind of buffed. And if I feel like I just can't get a good blurring, I'll use this brush to just kind of buff everything out. So Fenty, man, oldie but goodie. She, like, again, this is coming from somebody who doesn't know much about makeup, but I really, really love her products. Okay, so usually at this point, I put on mascara and some kind of lip moisturizer, lip gloss, and I'm done. I am piss poor at doing eye makeup, eyeshadow, winged liner, doing eyebrows. So funny how such a small area is so difficult. I think that's why I think you need a finer hand that I have not developed yet. So the eye makeup that I am going to do today is intentionally simple. What is this? I'm sorry, I got distracted. What is this brush? Is this for eyeliner? I just noticed this in my brush cup and I don't remember getting it, which is not surprising. What is this for? Is this for eyeliner? Can somebody tell me what I'm supposed to use this for? Is it for like eyeliner if I wanted to do a winged liner? Anyway, what was I saying? We're gonna do a simple eye. This is a brand that I just discovered, Adriana Nicole. Oh my gosh, fantastic. And I discovered her because I was watching her do a video introducing some of her products. Her eyeshadows, incredible. This is the duochrome glitter primer. I have used, when I've done full eye makeups in the past, I have used eye primer. My wedding makeup artist taught me that. But look at how pretty, it's like a diamond. I do a setting spray before I do eye makeup. I'm just going to do this off camera, but I just wanted to let you know that that is what my next step is. Just letting that dry. This is the primer. I'm just going to start with a tiny, tiny little bit. So I'll just do the other eye. I'm sorry if you're hearing all that noise. Like I said, I'm in a studio today and it's a shared space. So, other people are here. I'm hoping my microphone filters out some of the noise, but my apologies if you hear banging around. This is Adriana Nicole again. This is what made me jump onto her product bandwagon. Okay, let me see if I can do this so I don't blind you with the lights. Look at these colors. Are you joking me? Look at these shimmering, gleaming colors. She sells them individually, but I wanted more of them, so I just got this palette. This is the I Am Everything palette, which makes one feel so good, doesn't it? Powerful is like a coal. I bet that's going to make a beautiful smoky eye. So I could see these being great for base layers, that for smoking something out and bringing depth to the eye look. What made me jump on this is that she made a comment that if you weren't comfortable doing intricate eye makeup, you could just do a monocolor. So you could dip your finger in and pat the color on, or dip a brush in and pat the color on, and that's it, and you're done. And that spoke to me because I think just getting comfortable with the motion of putting eyeshadow on is where I need to begin. But let me swatch some of these colors for you. First is Invincible. Look at that. And this is what it looks like on the finger. Look at that. Next is Perfection. Look at that on the finger. This is what it looks like swatched. Look at that. Then we'll do Ethereal. Ethereal was the one I really wanted to make sure that I had, and apparently was the one that sold out all the time. This is what it looks like on the finger. That is like, when I think of a mermaid, that's what I think of. And then this is it swatched. Right there. See this purplish green? Stop it. Just stop. Beautiful. Then let's swatch Divine. That's Divine. Oh, it's like, yeah, purplish blue. I hope the camera is picking that up because I can see more of the purple in real life and in the mirror than I can on camera. That's what Divine looks like on the finger. Similar to Ethereal, but definitely much more purple to me. I just got Visionary on the finger, which is what that look was about. This is Visionary, this green. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. How stunning is that? That's Visionary. Incredible. What is going on? And then the last one is Trailblazer. Trailblazer is very blue. So beautiful. So, I would love to, I can't wait to get to the point where I can do, look at that. It's so pretty. Look at that Trailblazer. Oh my God. See these colors? How stunning. And I'm doing a very little tap into the makeup or a very light swipe. And look at that color payout. So that is why I jumped on Adriana Nicole. What color am I going to do? I think with this makeup, I think I've opted to go with Perfection. That feels very bold. I did like mini swatches and some to help me try to decide what colors, which is why you see some shimmer. Invincible's also, this is Invincible and this is Perfection. I think I'm going to do Perfection. We're just going to go bold. So here we go. I am just going to tap into Perfection. I just have to remind myself that if worse comes to worse, I can take it off. So what she did, I'm not going to worry about the little bit of ethereal that I have here, is she literally just patted it onto the lid. So I'm actually I'm gonna pat more. I'm gonna grab more. I'm not gonna tap it off this time. I'm just gonna pat. And I found that to be so, there's some fallout. I don't know. Maybe I should have tapped it off. That's okay, I'll brush it off. But I found that suggestion to be so approachable that it encouraged me to want to do more. Oops, I'm not showing. And then I'm going to pat onto the other eye, and then I will buff it higher onto the lid. But I just thought that was such a great suggestion. She's like, why? You don't need to try to do all the things. Just do one color. And I was like, brilliant. There is some fallout. I can see it on this eye too, right here. I don't know if that's because it's glittery or if it's user error, but I'm not worried about it. I will brush that off. I'm like, I want more. I want more. I love it. I love it. Again, I know that this isn't everybody's cup of tea, I don't think, shimmer, and I don't think it would be my everyday, but stop touching stuff. I have Q-tips. I'll do that later. But for the sake of showing you guys, we're going to go big. For me, I just love this, me talking about going big and going bold, and people who actually know what they're doing with makeup are probably watching this thinking, girl, is you okay? Bold wear. Ooh, I like it. And then I just bring it up a little bit higher. I don't know what I'm doing. Does it seem patchy? I might want to add more product here. It seems a little patchy here when I look in the mirror, but just in general, I love it. Maybe I'll put a little bit of Invincible on. Ooh, we're getting crazy. I was just going to do one color, but maybe I'll do a little bit of Invincible, like in the center. I would imagine somebody using Invincible or some of these colors like in the corner. I love it when people do that, when they put like a brightener in the corner of their eyes. I think that's so pretty. I've got some Invincible on. I'm gonna do a little bit like here. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. What a color. Oh, I love it so much, you guys. I love it so much. I am inspiring myself to learn how to do eye makeup. Does this look crazy? I look crazy, don't I? I love it. So what I'm going to do is I have some Q-tips and I'm going to take some of this fallout away. How do you avoid the fallout? Is that just the nature of some eye makeup? Because I've done eyeshadow before without that happening. And I don't know if it's because this is so shimmery and glittery, if it's loose, I don't know. If you guys have ideas as to how I can avoid that, then let me know. I'm going to go in with the Q-tip and try to clean some of this up. I'll be right back. Another thought I just had as I was cleaning this up is I wonder if this is why I've seen people do their eye makeup first. I always do it last, and I've seen people do it last, but I have seen a lot of people do their eye makeup first. And I wonder if that's why, because then you can just, oops, if you don't have any foundation or blush or whatever on, you can just wipe that completely off the face. That might be something I try. But is that what you guys do? What do you guys do? Or do you have a method for preventing this fallout? I think that's about as cleaned up as it's going to get, and I don't mind that. And I just love, oh my God, I love that so much. Okay. The last part and another part of makeup that I am very uncomfortable with is the lip. I really love the look of lipstick on people, and I really love all of the colors that are available. I find that when I wear lip color, I feel like I look like a clown, and I think it's because, again, I'm not matching colors. I think also I've learned that when I have stuff going on top, like heavier eye makeup, heavier, I don't feel comfortable wearing a bold lip. It's got to be one or the other. It's kind of like earrings and necklace for me. Usually it's one or the other. I don't like to do both. So truthfully, I'm probably just going to do a lipstick with this, but I did want to talk about some lip liners that I have purchased in the spirit of learning how to do this. And the brands that I have are Mented. Mented, I discovered years ago, I think when they had just started, and I'm a huge fan. I think Mented is actually they are who does my bronzer. They're who does my bronzer. I have 4 lip liners with them, and actually I was looking at lip liners last night, and they are all in the brown family. This one is Dope. This one is Night. This one is Foxy. It's another brown. And then I have an Adriana Nicole lip liner. And this one is I Am Confident. It's another brown. I don't think I need any more brown lip liners. I did recently find it's this red lipstick that when I put it on, I feel so good. That made me feel like, oh no, it's just I need to find the right colors and the right combination. It's not that I don't like lipstick because I love wearing that lipstick. I also thought maybe doing a brown lip would be nice. And I have this from Mented. This is actually a lip gloss, and it's called Send Nudes. Mented is wonderful because they also serve a wide range of skin tones. So this is the lip gloss. So that's what that looks like on the lip. I like that. I don't mind it. This is another brand that I'm loving. This is Pat McGrath Labs. Do you remember that, was it Alexander McQueen runway show where the model's makeup was this porcelain doll? I gasped when I saw it. That was Pat McGrath. And there were all kinds of tutorials about how to do it. Of course, I understood none of it, but I recently decided that I want to eventually try that makeup. After she did that tutorial, people were flipping out about how to get that same effect. Pat McGrath said, I hear you, and we've done a lot of experimentation, and we're going to come out with the product. And she did a while ago, but I just got it because I just decided that I was going to do this, and it's the Glass 001 peel off mask. I have watched videos of Pat McGrath in the past, and she just is a brilliant woman. The other thing I have of hers, I got this lipstick. Isn't that so cute? With a little bow. This, of course, is a brown. There's a theme here. Let's see what that looks like on. Oh, it's very soft on the lips. Oh, I like that. But again, I don't know with this makeup. I feel like it's maybe not too much, but I feel like I need something glossy. This is the other product that I got from Pat McGrath, just a lip balm. And I definitely didn't need another lip balm. I have plenty at home, but how pretty is that packaging? Can you imagine just pulling that out of your bag and just with a little lip on it? It's so pretty. I love it. And then another lip balm I have is from Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian Nourishing Lip Balm. I have used this already. Very moisturizing. And then this is a lip gloss by Adriana Nicole. It's her Hydra Gloss, and it's in Go Getter. When I pull this out, you will understand why I was drawn to it. I mean, come on. Iridescence, but on the lip, it doesn't come out looking. Oh, I have Pat McGrath on, but I actually like this. I like this, and it has a scent that's really nice. I like this, but let me take this off, and we'll put it on plain and see what that looks like. That's what it looks like, plain, like with nothing on under it. It just gives a little shimmer, but actually, I think that I like the combination with a little brown. I was going to attempt to do lip liner, but I think I'm not going to. I actually decided to just put it on top. Oh, I do like that. I think I like the Go Getter from Adriana Nicole on the bottom, and then the Mented Send Nudes on the top. So I was noticing the vermilion border. It seemed kind of stark with the lip color on. I was playing off camera with one of my lip pencils. This one is the Mented in the Foxy, and I put it on this side, and I think I actually kind of like it. I feel like it kind of evens out the lip color. See my Cupid's bow, how stark it is compared to the color that I have on my lips. So I think I'm gonna try lining the rest of at least my top lip. I did overline it a little bit, but not too much. I really like that. And it probably makes more sense to put this on first, but this was a game day decision. Oh, I really like that. Should I do the bottom? I went too far. Not too far. Over here. Let's get a Q-tip. I think I'm messing it up. I have to stop. Stop on your head. But I just now, in real time, saw the benefit of a lip liner. You saw it here first, kids. Now I really, really want to practice. That's it. That is my makeup look done. I'm looking in the mirror. The eye makeup is a lot for me, but I have to say I really like it. I do. I like it. I think it's just going to take some getting used to, but I like it. Now the very last bit is putting on my mascara. I'll just put it on off camera, and then I will come back with my final thoughts. The other thing I'm very bad at, again, eye makeup, is eyebrows. If I do anything with these eyebrows, which I usually don't, I just have I can't read this. Basically, it's like mascara for the eyebrows. It's just a little comb with color on it, and I just brush a tiny bit onto my eyebrows. So that's all I did. Added the mascara, and that is it. What do you guys think? I have to say, I really like it. I could see this maybe being, I think, like a coppery eyeshadow would be great. Or once I figure out how to do more of like the base colors and more of the shadowing to give more dimension, I think the glitter will be maybe less dark or to feel more integrated. But I have to say that I just really like the way this came together. So I hope that I did these Black makeup artisans some justice. If you're a makeup person and haven't tried any of these brands, I would encourage you to do so. So Adriana Nicole, Juvia's Place, Mented, Fenty, Pat McGrath Labs, they would get your face beat like a drum. I hope you enjoyed me struggling through putting on a face of makeup. I actually really enjoyed myself. If you weren't too offended by my efforts, please remember to like this video. Again, I'm not going to begin the chant to subscribe until I've posted 10 videos, but for those of you who subscribed anyway, I am so I can't even express to you how thankful. You made me cry. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.